Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Hope you guys are doing well today. Today is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We do this every week. Go live and just try to catch up with you guys, see how things are going with you in the community. Try to answer any questions that you guys might have to provide a little bit of value and just really, spend time with you guys, get to know you guys. So let me know where you guys are sitting at for the day, if it's going good for you, if it's going bad for you, if it's just mediocre. Last few days have been good, but well, last few days have actually been not as great, but I'll show you guys the numbers in a little bit. But today it's not so great, very, very low, but can't always be sunshine and rainbows, you know what I mean? So uh, I'm happy to be having anything. First up, we got Heaven Sense in the building. What's going on? Hopefully everything's going well with you, my guy. Man, it's been a busy day. Got a lot of stuff done so far, but I still have to do like 8 listings. A lot of you guys know I do 30 a day right now. I got to do like 8 more listings to go live. I have them in my draft bank, but I'm trying to beef that thing up for the end of the month when I go on this mission trip. So I'm not really trying to use my drafts. Anastasia says, "Hey, Marcus, I'm finally above standard on June 20th. I'm so ready to run ads again. Hey, just keep it rolling. Don't do anything to jeopardize getting below standard. So that way you'll be top rated soon. Uh, really glad that you're doing better though. Keep up the good work, my friend. So yeah, if you guys could hit the like button, maybe this will get shared and spread out to more people. I haven't been sharing the stuff on Instagram lately, so the views don't usually pick up until halfway through the stream, or not the views, but I mean the members joining the live stream, which is all good. There's 9 of you here right now. I'll share whatever value I can with you. Uh, you won't cancel any more orders. If you cancel the order, I had to cancel an order today, and I heard James, my boy in Reseller, or the great Reseller Life, say something about it earlier. Uh, with them changing this thing around for the items to still stay in people's carts after a sell, I believe that's what happened to me. I sold an item and it was gone. I didn't sell it on Poshmark. I sold it on eBay. I don't know how it got relisted. So I just reached out to the buyer and was like, "Hey, I can't find these shorts. Can you pick something else out of my store?" And they said they looked and they couldn't find anything else that they wanted. So I just refunded them the money, but I did select the option that the buyer asked to cancel. So just don't cancel orders without don't cancel orders for out of stock or stuff like that. That's what hurts you. What's going on, Wayne? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you dropping by. Man, I went for a run earlier. My calves are sore, man, but I be skipping cardio like crazy. And now that I got high cholesterol, I gotta start making sure I do what I'm supposed to do. So if you guys got any reselling related questions, drop them in the chat. That way I can provide value. Big shout out to all of you guys that follow me on my other channel. We're getting real close to 10,000 subs over there. I've only been putting content out on that channel for a month, so I'm really mind blown and taken aback about that. So big shout out to all you guys. The Undivided Heart says, can you open on taking time off? My wife and I are gone for 2 weeks, and I have set that up on my time away, shutting the store down for 16 days. Any advice or strategy? So, man, that's going to be a tough one, right? It depends on what your goal is. Do you still want to make sales while you're gone? You're going to lose traction on your store regardless, right? There's no way that you're going to have the same amount of consistency in your sales for 16 days. The buyer's going to see a big red banner at the top of your store that's going to say that you're away for however long. A buyer's going to look at that and be like, all right, it's not that important. I don't want to wait 16 days to get this item, and they're going to go buy it from someone else. Now, if you do allow sales to continue, you're going to have sales, but they're going to slow down each time or each day that you're away. The traction is going to get less and less. Are you going to be listing while you're gone? If so, you can still list from your draft bank, but it's not going to help your sales none. I mean, like at the end of the day, you're still going to be away. If you extend your handling time, your sales will be a little bit better, but ain't nobody still going to want to wait 16 days for an order when you buy, when they buy an item from you and they don't know that you're on vacation. Say you buy an item for me and then I hit you up after you pay for an item, like, hey, just so you know, I'm out of town for 16 days. I'll be like, I'll just go ahead and cancel it, give me my money back. So I don't have any solid strategies for that because there's literally no way around it, right? Those are the situations you're going to run into. But at the end of the day, if you're going to go away for 16 days, do the do what you think is best for you and what's going to allow you to enjoy your vacation the most. Me personally, when I go on vacation at the end of the month, I'm turning my store off on vacation mode. I'm going to allow sales still. I'm going to launch drafts from the listings, from the drafts, but I'm not going to be doing that. I went on a mission trip last year, and when I did that, I would work all day long, and then I would come back to my hotel room at night and do eBay work for like the last hour of the night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm worn out and wiped out, and I'm just ready to go to bed. So, me personally, I'm not trying to mess with no eBay on a vacation. It's not a vacation if I got to work on it. You know what I mean? So, do what's best for you. Uh, and I hope that you enjoy your time. Uh, I think, at the end of the day, if your listings slow down or your traction slows down, you come back and you get the listing consistently for a week, they're going to start giving you the same traction that you've been having. So they'll realize that you're back in and you're ready to play again. So don't trip off it. Just do what's going to be the best for you in the situation that you're in. So let me share my screen, show you guys where I'm sitting at right now. So like I said, today's real slow, not very good. Right now I'm sitting at 182 $182 with 11 items. So not very good. Uh Sunday I did 429. Yesterday I did 394. Uh but I had a really good day on Sunday, 739. So I don't know what's going on with the last couple of days for everything to taper off. But as you see, it went from 222 on May 12th, and then I've been up high 500s, low 600s the whole time, except for like a couple days. Um, but for the most part, it's been all above $500 for most of the days, except for the last couple of days. So I don't know what's going on, but my sales are up 81.5%, almost at $17,000. I got real close yesterday. I was at 16,940 something dollars when I went to bed. But as you know, each one of these days falls off, so the number goes back down. So tomorrow it'll go down $222. So, it is what it is. I'm just glad to see that at the end of the day, eBay, it's not broke, it's not dead. Uh, if you sell items that are cheap enough or in demand enough or affordable enough, somebody's going to buy them. Uh, at the end of the day, that's regardless. Now, if you're going to be denying and declining orders or offers, obviously your sales are going to be slower. So uh, I just had to get back to doing the volume method, man. I got this guy left me a negative feedback because he bought jeans and didn't check the size. Uh, but what are you going to do? You can't please everybody. Let's see. Is one able to put vacation mode on a personal account, not a store? I don't think it matters if you have a store or not. You should be able to put it on vacation mode. I think the first time I went on vacation, I think I had a store then, so I can't really say or not. Just try it. Um, you know, if you, I don't think it's a setting. Let's just check it out real quick. I don't think it's a setting that's specific for a store. So we'll go to eBay real quick, and then we'll go to seller account. No, we'll go to subscriptions. And then we'll check. Yeah, I don't see vacation mode as being a thing, a benefit. So I would think that you don't need it. So there you go. So how's everybody's sales going? Are you guys having a slow day, or are you guys noticing that it's not busy? Is it just as busy as always? Are you guys doing okay? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you guys got any questions, make sure you ask them. I can only say so much before there's nothing to say. Sourcing went good yesterday. I found 3 pairs of vintage Abercrombie and Fitch cargo shorts. The market has gone down on those. Those used to go for like 70, 80 bucks. Now they're going for like, a lot of people are selling them for like $15. I don't know what's up with that. They definitely go for more. You can sell them for $60, $70 still. So I found 3 of those. I found a pair of vintage Hollister shorts that look the same. I found a couple of vintage windbreaker like track pants yesterday. I found what's up, my Negro. I found some vintage army pants yesterday. I know that what's his name? Big Yumbo said he's been trying to specialize in some vintage army stuff. I didn't look at his store because I don't know what his store's name is, but I did look at some sold comps on these and saw $70 comps on some 70s military pants. What's up, Craig? How you doing? So I got mine listed for like I think I put them up for 50 bucks because mine has like kind of like pilling all over it, a lot of wash wear and some fading on the knees. Still should be able to get about, minimum $40 out of them. So happy about that. What else did I find? Let's just check the old eBay store listings real quick. I did find cool shirt I bought from you. Thanks. Nice. Appreciate you buying and shopping from me. I did see your purchase, but I didn't record that day, so I couldn't give you a shout out. But I appreciate it though. I did find some Viore pants yesterday, 2 pairs of pants at the gym, at the bins. If you guys watched yesterday's upload, I said that I don't find Viore all the time, and I don't. I just happened to find 2 pairs of pants yesterday in the same bin. Very unassuming. You know what I mean? It's like Lululemon. Like if you're not looking for that type of item, you're not going to know that it's that type of item to be looking in. And I just noticed the V on there. There was no size tag, so that could have been why people left it behind. But I just did a quick search this morning on my Patreon morning call and found both items by the name that they go by, and both of them go for over 50 bucks used. So pretty happy about that. I spent yesterday at the bins. I spent $55 on the second round. I got like 60 items, and then on the first round I spent 146, and I got about 84 items. And then I found this really cool vintage Disney jacket. I'll show you guys some comps. Vintage Disney. All righty, let me share the screen. Now mine isn't as cool as the one with poo on it because a rapper wore the one with poo on it before. So mine looks like this. They got theirs priced pretty egregious. Let's see what they sold for though. So they're selling for about 150, 275. This one sold for 275 because a rapper wore it. XXX Tentacion wore this one before he died, so it's popular. Anytime someone in hip hop wears an item, it makes the value of it skyrocket. But mine is not the Winnie the Pooh one. Mine is a Mickey Mouse one, so not as cool. Still will sell pretty well. I'm happy with it. It did have some staining on the collar. I put some shout on it. Hopefully it washed out. I didn't go back and pick it up today, so we'll see what happens. Got the Tigger one for 175. So I should be able to get 145 for mine. Just found it sitting in the bins, just chilling. So happy about that. Let's see here. I was going to give my next vintage Disney item to Heather the Canary Closet, but I'm gonna have to keep this one, Heather. I'm gonna have to keep this one, homie. Sorry. Uh, just too good of an item to pass up or to give away. I have given away a very expensive item before. I gave Chris Flip the World I had it listed for like $100. It was a vintage Brooks and Dunn uh lightning vintage snapback. I'll show you what it looks like. I gave it to him because he loves Brooks and Dunn, and that's the homie. Let me show you real quick. Let's see. I don't see it. It was one of these. I found it in the bins. I had it listed for like $100. Now, mind you, this was like almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And the comps on it were like $100. As you can see, these are still going for decent money, these two. But I just gave it to the homie. I'm like, hey man, here. It goes with your shirt. Happy birthday. It was his birthday. So I gave it to him for a birthday present like 2 years ago. That's pretty cool. But yeah, man, some of this vintage Brooks and Dunn stuff goes pretty well. $80 for one. That's way cooler than that one though. In my opinion. I don't think purple's a very great color. What am I doing? All right. So you guys don't have very much to say today. It's gonna mess around and be a short live stream. So anyway, as I said, the first trip was $55. I'm trying to think of anything else that I got right out. I can't think off the top of my head. 253 attire. I just did my first clothing pop-up this weekend. How'd it go? YouTube chat's been buggy on my end all day today. Well, like it's not showing up or what? What's up, Matt? How you doing, bro? Wonder if others are having issues. Possibly. I don't know. This is the first live stream that I've done or attended all day. I was listening. I take that back. I was listening to a live stream right before this call, but I wasn't talking on it. Made over 5K in 2 days. Nice. What'd you sell? All vintage stuff or just, well, what'd you do? That's a lot for a pop-up. For just bread and butter. You must have had like some bangers you saved up and stored up over the time. Or did you just like take your whole eBay store and put it up for sale in a pop-up? Because that's something people do too. Well, congratulations, man. That's very, very good. 5K in 2 days. That's nothing to frown about, bro. Some people don't even do that on eBay in a whole month. Okay. Well, maybe that's got a reason to do with why nobody's it's actually really low numbers. There's only 25 people on here. Normally I have about 50 to 70 in a live stream. I mean, on a good day it's over 100, but I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I haven't been putting a lot of energy into my content at all lately, and it shows because the views are down on the videos. But man, I don't have the time to be all creative and like super thoughtful with content right now, man. I'm putting a lot of energy into everything else but YouTube. At least this channel is YouTube. I'm trying to grow this other YouTube channel. Like it's really what I'm passionate about. I'm super passionate about Jesus, and that's really all that matters to me right now is just Jesus. So can't hardly hear me. All right. Well, what's the I don't know how to make it any better. I could try to turn up the microphone. Let's see here. Mic volume. What about now? It's on 175. It's double the limit. Let me know if anybody else, let me know if it's too loud now because I don't want to be blowing people's eardrums out. A lot of sweatshirts and a decent amount of shirts. Been saving some decent items for it. That's what's up. I sound good. Do I sound too loud though? Way better? Okay. And how are you doing, Red? Hopefully you're doing well. Had to clear my browser. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, I got a question. I've sold a lot of collectibles and hard goods, but now I'm getting into clothing. You see any kind of conflict having a store where you sell collectibles, hard goods, and clothing? I mean, I don't really see one. You got to think. James, my boy reseller, he sells some of everything, right? I know like Noelle, Farm Girl Scavenger, she sells kind of everything. There's a lot of everything sellers out there, right? I think honestly, your store has better traction when you focus on one type of item because eBay doesn't have to find a buyer for what you list that day. You know what I mean? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Am I telling you not to do it? No, I'm not telling you not to do it. Do whatever works best for you, man. If you put the items up and they start selling, then continue to do it. But for me, I just feel like it's better for me to pick one type of item to sell. Um, Less ways to try to figure out how to ship it. Less different shipping supplies that are required. No bubble mail, no bubble wrap, none of that type of stuff. Um, but all you can do is try it. I did clothing and hard goods for months. And when I started focusing on only clothing, is when my business started growing. So to each their own. Um, hey Sheila, I'm doing good. How are you? How are sales going for you? Um, yeah, so just try it out. If you feel like your conversion rate lowers, then you might need to think about a second store. Second store is a pain though. Trying to keep up with two stores, that's definitely a pain. It's a pain trying to keep up with multiple accounts using Vendu. But at the end of the day, you do what you got to do. Um, what I do know is that my conversion rate was 2 point like 2.6 or something like that when I was an everything seller. And then when I went up to only clothing, it went up to above 3%. And then I turned on promoted listings to like 10% because I was in that reseller Nirvana group with Tech. And he said that he was promoting his items at 10. So I think everybody and their mama started promoting at 10% just because Tech was. And my conversion rate went from 3% all the way down to like 1.7. And it just kind of marinated there for the longest time. Now it's at like 2.4 now. And I also don't promote it 10% anymore. I promote it 5% on my items. Um, but you gotta realize you gotta do what works best for you and your store, right? For me, doing things the way that I'm doing it work best for me. If it doesn't work for you, then that's fine. I'm not expecting anybody to do what I do. Uh, I'm not expecting anyone to have the same buy cost that I have. We all charge different shipping prices. Everything's different, so you got to do what works best for you. Um, Things are picking back up, but I'm keeping it casual. Hopefully, I can crank back up next month. Yeah, no problem. Take it easy, man. You're not like in the most optimal of situations all the time. Lance says, "Hey, hope all is well. Been selling clothes on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. I don't understand why I'm selling more on Depop than eBay. God bless. I've been on Depop for months and I still haven't sold one item, so I don't understand how you're selling more over there either. But hey, you might have those types of items. I don't pick up like a bunch of vintage grills or like things that I feel would be Depop, aesthetically pleasing. Maybe that's part of the problem, but I sell a lot of stuff on eBay, so I'm okay with that. I'm almost at I think I sold over 1,000 items in the last 90 days or last 31 days. I'm sorry. Let's check real quick. Share screen. Yeah, 1,087 items in the last 31 days. Sales quantity sold is up 146%. That's crazy. Um, the gross is up 81.5%. The net is up 59%, 59.7%. So $7,000, almost $8,000 in the last month. That's okay. ASP is way down 26%, but what do you expect when I'm just accepting most offers that come through? Uh, T-shirts up 78%, men's jeans up 42%, shorts up 159%. But that makes sense though, since the summer months are upon us. Hoodies 19%, and casual button downs surprisingly coming in number 5 for the month. So trying to get this up to, I'm trying to push 20,000. I've never done 20,000 in a month on eBay in the whole time that I've been doing it. But I'm not like as big as some people are either. And I also don't hold out for most of the money either. So if I was holding out for most of the money, I'd probably be down a lot lower. I'd probably be down at like 12 or 13,000 for the month. So you got to do what you got to do. I got bills I got to pay. Master Mage 75. How do you charge different shipping when you weigh stuff through places like Whatnot? I don't know. I don't do Whatnot, so I have no idea about Whatnot. I charge 2 different shipping prices. One for anything under a pound, one for anything over a pound, and then I charge a different price for big jackets that are going to have to go in like a box or something like that. I charge $15 for that. Dixon has never sold. Yep, never sold on Whatnot. I'm waiting until I get 100 followers over there, because I know I'm going to lose a bunch of money selling over there. What does sales conversion rate mean? So it's kind of like on YouTube, where you open your YouTube homepage and there's a bunch of videos on there, thumbnails, right? Those are impressions. An impression would turn into a conversion when someone actually clicks on the video and watches. So I don't share my eBay store openly, but it's not hard to find. If you just rewind the video, you can see the store name. And it's not because I don't want anybody finding me. It's because it hurts my store so bad when you guys go and look at my store and don't buy anything. It does not help the store at all. So I got like 3,000 followers on eBay, and none of you guys shop with me. So it's not something that I'm like super happy to do. Nice, just sold some vintage Abercrombie and Fitch pants for $81. Let's go. Don't sell your Abercrombie for stupid cheap, guys. It can go for much, much more money. But yeah, so that's why I don't just openly share it. But like I said, it's not hard to find. You can look on anywhere on the screen and find out what the eBay store name is. It's not hard. Maybe behind me, you can find out what the eBay store name is. Super easy to find. Easiest eBay store to find. So yeah, the sales conversion rate would be like, say I type in vintage Abercrombie and Fitch pants, and then I get shown a bunch of vintage Abercrombie and Fitch pants. Those are going to be listing impressions. If I click on the listing, that is a click through. If I buy the item, that's going to be a conversion. Sam Chap, I have always bought clothes at Walmart, Kohl's, etc. How did learn to identify desirable vintage clothing to sell? I know some brand names, but there seems to be so much out there. Okay, so I had the advantage of being in high school in 2002, 1998 to 2002. I was in high school then. So all the stuff that I was wearing back then and my demographic was wearing is what's trending right now. So literally anything I saw a kid wear in high school is what I pick up at the bins. I don't even look it up. I just buy it. Most of the time it works out for me. Sometimes it does not. Now, other than that, I just did a lot of research. You can Google any year of tag. So you can Google Nike tags by year. You can Google Reebok tags by year, Adidas tags by the year, literally everything, and find all that stuff on eBay, or not on eBay, but on Google. And then all you got to do is just look for those tags. Now, when it comes down to stuff like Fruit of the Loom tags, Gildan tags, Signal T tags, Signal Sport tags, Giant, those are all defunct. Defunct means like they don't work, they don't make them anymore. Fruit of the Loom, they do make. Hanes, they do make. Gildan, they do make. But Signal Sport, Giant. What's some other ones that are defunct that you're just automatically going to know that they're vintage because of it? I can't think of any more off the top of my head. But then you got companies that like Liquid Blue. They've been around for years. They make vintage. They have vintage items, but they make modern stuff. It's still a Liquid Blue tag, but it's a vinyl. It's an iron-on. You can see most of them are going to have made in the USA, or now it's going to be made in Mexico. When it gets to like made in Honduras and stuff like that, it's going to be like mid 2000s or 2006 and on. When it starts getting in the Middle East, that's when it's going to be after 2010. But it just comes with a lot of experience, a lot of Googling, a lot of looking at tags, a lot of looking at sold comps. Sometimes you're going to look at items that are in the sold comps and it's going to say vintage, but it's going to be super modern and somebody's just calling it vintage. But like Tech and Sports says, there's no vintage police. So nobody's going to come knock on your door and be like, you said this was vintage and it's not. What are they going to do? Sue you? Sorry, getting a lot of notifications over here. Let's see. For the 99 and 2000. There's Juvenile. Are you searching by the image or the keyword? Thanks so much. A little bit of both, honestly. So, for instance, there's going to be like that hat I looked up earlier. You weren't on the live stream, I don't think, but I looked up a Brooks and Dunn's vintage lightning hat. There's going to be different items that have different names. Different polo items have different names. There's going to be like the Ski Man, the Polo Bear, the Flesh Pony, Small Pony, Big Pony, Polo Rugby, Polo Country Club. All this type of stuff has different names for it. It's the same thing with like Nike Center Swoosh, Nike Big Logo, Nike color blocking from the 90s. You can type all these different keywords in and it's going to pull up different items for you. Jordan, Jumpman, Nike Air. All this is all going to be different stuff. All of it's going to go for different prices. Nike Silver Tab, Nike White Tag, Nike Blue Tag, Nike Black Tag, Nike Japan. All this stuff is all going to be different value. Nike that's made in Taiwan, Nike that's made in Korea, Nike that's made in the USA. All of it's going to go for different money. And you just got to kind of look at what you have in front of you and then Google it, check eBay, check, Depop or, other places like that as well and see if it's going for anything. You're going to find something that you're going to undersell in the beginning. And one of the ways that you're going to know that you undersold it is because you got the sell. It sold immediately. For instance, I used to sell these vintage Nike sweatshirts for like $25 and they would sell immediately. Well, one day I got an offer on it. I had it listed for $25 and someone offered me 12 on it. And I'm talking about as soon as I listed it, I was like, I've got to be having this underpriced. So I checked comps and I saw that they were selling for $150 consistently. So I declined the offer. I relisted the item at $150 and it sold a month later. It didn't sell very quick, but it sold a month later for the full asking price of $150. So you just kind of got to do extensive research on what you have. Sometimes you're going to get lost in the sauce and you're going to be looking up comps for hours and you still won't find the right item. In that circumstance, you're just going to have to do the best with what you got. Let's see. John, what's going on? How you doing? Red says, no, but the customer will charge back on you by filing with eBay. Item not as described if you put false things. I've never seen that. I've never, ever seen anybody get a return on vintage. And I'm not talking about like by, 20 years. So I'm going to use this as an example. There's a woman in my Patreon that sold a vintage Deftone shirt. That thing was modern as heck. It was like from 2020. And the person bought it for like $50, no, $100. And she didn't get no chargeback on it or nothing. I've never heard of anyone, not ever, not once, getting a return on an item that they called vintage that wasn't vintage. I've never heard of that. Now, maybe in antiques or collectibles or something like that, probably. In clothing, I've never heard of it. we can look at listings right now, and I guarantee you I'll see something that was released last year. Someone's calling vintage, and it's going to be in the sold section. I promise you, I've never heard of anyone getting a return, an INAD at that, on saying something was vintage. I call something that's listed that was made in 2005. I'm calling it vintage right now, and it's a year away. Nobody's ever given me a hard time about it or nothing. If they're coming at you trying to file INADs on you over a clothing item, they're just petty. They're petty. They knew it wasn't vintage when they bought it. Learning brands is definitely part of niching down and learning categories, but there's a lot of money out there. Absolutely. It does take a lot of study. I mean, there's going to be obvious indicators like made in the USA or a timestamp on it, a copyright, a date that says, Biker Rally 2004, like that's going to be super easy. But, when it comes down to it, just do your research. Do your research, look your brands up, look your tags up, Google everything, and you'll find it. Red says, being an online seller, it takes research on your part. There's no Bible on top selling vintage items that I know now. And Red's been doing this for a while. She's got a lot of knowledge too. And there's not a Bible on top selling vintage items, but you can get lost in comps on eBay. You just type in vintage men's jeans, vintage Levi's jeans, vintage Calvin Klein jeans, vintage whatever, and search from high to low, and you'll be surprised. I do that all the time in the morning call on the Patreon. Just go through comp research, and I just find stuff all the time that I've never heard of by checking the comps. You know what I mean? Like I'll just get on there. Summertime's coming up. I'm looking for comps on shorts that sell for over $25 because, as most of us know, t-shirts and shorts don't sell for as much money unless you got something great as jeans and hoodies and jackets do. Jackets are going to be the top dog. Hoodies, sweatshirts, sweaters, those are going to be second. Jeans, third. And, t-shirts are going to be last. Probably button downs. Then t-shirts going to be before button downs. But still, you just got to find those items in the comps by doing the research. That's how I've learned a lot of brands. Watching YouTube videos, looking up comps at the bins, looking up anything that looks like it could be vintage, anything with a cool graphic, stuff like that. Now, vintage isn't the only way to make money. You can make a ton of money off modern stuff. It doesn't have to be vintage. And a lot of the vintage stuff, it comes and goes so quickly that by the time you might find something, it might not even be worth picking up anymore because the kids are on to the next style. I started eBay and Amazon back in 2001. Yeah, you got some experience on me, buddy. I've never seen anything charged back using vintage, not in 15 years. Me neither. I've never even heard of anybody having a charge back on it, at least not in the clothing section. I could see it on like someone saying it's a vintage VCR, and it's like, I guess it would be vintage. I can't say that on something. Vintage TV, and it's from 2016. Like, you knew that wasn't vintage when you bought it and it was a flat screen. You know what I mean? I had a lady at a mom and pop thrift shop tell me something was vintage. The tag was Sheen, told her that wasn't vintage, maybe vintage inspired. Yeah, and I'll do that too. Like I'll put like Y2K style in the description or in the tag or in the title. If it's something that I know is modern but it's made to look vintage. But if it's like a year or two away, if it's 2006, I'm putting vintage in the title. Nobody's going to trip off that. They know it's close enough to vintage. 2001 eBay as compared to today I imagine it's a whole different ball game. Did you know items over a pound, you can still do ground advantage, no need for flat rate envelope? Yeah, I don't use flat rate envelopes hardly ever anymore. Used to be that was the main way that I shipped most of my items out was flat rate envelopes. But now it's cheaper to do almost everything ground advantage. So ground advantage is the predominant way that I ship items now, even if it is over 2 pounds. I hardly ever ship anything priority anymore. It's just not worth it. Shein is trash. Yeah, it's very, very bad. A lot of that fast fashion is bad nowadays, though. But it's not meant to be good quality. It's meant to be worn a couple of times, and then you're supposed to go out and buy more. It's supposed to keep you coming back. They're releasing like 400 styles a week. I saw that documentary they did on John Galt and Brandy Melville brand. Man, they're like flying through some styles and just all of it's trash. All of it, it'll come with a hole in it. It's like not even, its quality control is bad on that stuff. That's what makes a vintage item worth it, because a lot of them are well put together. Like most of them are 100% cotton, or if it's a good heavyweight sweatshirt from back in the day, it's going to be like 80% cotton, 20% polyester. So it's going to be more durable. It's going to be more thicker. It'll last longer. Doesn't wear out as much in the laundry. Like when you wash that polyester stuff, like, or a 50-50 cotton poly blend, it gets peeling like wash wear on the second or third wash. It's like already starting to look bad. And that's with with good fabric detergent and stuff like that. Moochie, what's up, man? How you doing? Those newbie sellers that want to sell Wish and Shein and Temu stuff on eBay and become millionaires. I mean, hey, they got the volume, they can do it. Us Americans with no plug, we can't do that with no Temu and stuff like that. But them places over there, they're making money. They're getting that stuff made for like $1 an item, and selling it for like 25, 30 bucks. And in thousands of units moving. I can't hate on them. Do your thing. If I had the sauce, if I had the recipe to do it, I would. I don't, so I'm just doing what I can. My whole wardrobe is thrifted, way better quality and less expensive. I was just telling a lady at the bench yesterday, I was like, I was the type of guy that would have went like this hoodie. It doesn't look like it, but this, and I've worn the crap out of it. Look, holes on the chest and everything. This is like a $90 hoodie. You know what I mean? From the Nike store. This was a birthday gift, but since then, I haven't bought anything brand new from the store. A pair of shoes, but all my clothes has come from the Goodwill, all of them, thrifted from some location. But before that, I'd have had no problem going out buying a full Nike jogger suit for like $180, and I thought it was okay. I didn't know a better way. I didn't know that I could go to the Goodwill. If I just go often enough, I'll find some cool stuff. I didn't know that, because every time I went in the thrift store, I never found anything good, and it was always old man clothes. It's like, I can't find anything good here. But the more you go out and do it, the cooler the stuff you find. Like yesterday, like I said, I found those 2 Viore pants yesterday at the Benz. If they were my size, I would have kept them, but they're a large, and I don't wear a large. I wear a medium. So they're going to be all big and baggy on me. I don't wear baggy stuff. I think it looks crazy. Now we know. Now you know what. Now we know. We know better. This hat. I don't know how much this hat costs brand new. Probably more than I want to pay for it. Let's see. All right. Share the screen. Nike Legacy 91. They're saying Shein, $47. I don't know why everything's saying Shein. They're listening to our conversation. But this is the type of hat it is, but obviously it doesn't look the same. But they're talking about $40 brand new, $26, $29, all over the place, $25. This one like it. But I ain't paying no $25. I paid like 50 cents for this hat at the Benz. Boom. I could make an Amazon video about it and probably get somebody to buy a couple though. I made an Amazon video about silver jeans, and every time people be buying those. Anyone else freezing up? If I'm freezing up, let me know. $30, yeah, close to it. So yeah. I'm not paying $30 for a hat. I remember those days. I used to go to the bin, or not to the bins, but to Lids in the mall or Champs, and buy hats $35 for a Nike hat? Not no more. You won't catch me buying no brand new nothing no more. Only thing I'm buying new is shoes. And if I find shoes that are used but in good condition, I'll buy those. I just never find shoes in my size. All fixed, took it off the internet. Thanks, guys. Do you do off? I tried offsite ads for a little bit, and I ended up paying more money than what I was comfortable with to make sales. It worked, but it didn't work good enough for the money they charged me. I did a $10 a day budget, and they went over the budget both times that I did. I did it 2 different times, and both times they went over the budget. And then after I ended the sale, they kept charging me. So like 3 or 4 days after, it was still charging me, and I turned it off. So I think it's a scam. I had a call from eBay a couple of days ago. I said a couple of days ago, but it's probably about 2 weeks ago now. They called me on the phone trying to get me to get enrolled in some other stuff. And I was like, look, I'm going to tell you guys 100, man. I'm like, you guys are trying to do all the stuff to make us pay more money on promotions, but you're not trying to do anything to make the site better. So I said, I'm not going to be paying. I'm already promoting my listings. What more do you guys want from me? You know? So, I told him to get off the phone with me. Hey man, can you give me a listing goal size store where someone can make $1 million in profit? No, I cannot, because I've never made $1 million in profit. I would think that you want to at least be as big as Tech was when he made $1 million. We talked about this last week. I think Tech was somewhere around probably, I don't know. I think I can only speculate somewhere around like 20,000 to 30,000 items. Doing millions a year, so somewhere around there. If you can get 30,000 quality listings in your store, you should be able to make $1 million profit. What does the Resell brothers have in their store? I don't know how much they have, but they sold 600,000 last year. I don't know how much they made net, but whatever they got, just do double of it. You know what I mean? If you can get a 50% sell through or 50% fees. 50% selling fees, you should be able to do that. Yeah, I have a Patreon, but I don't talk about anything like that in there because I've never made $1 million. I've never made $1 million in sales. I can't even begin to tell you how much you would need. I had 9,000 something items last year, and I did 184,000 net, or I did 184,000 gross, and I made 88,000 net. I can tell you how to get close to 100,000 net. I can't tell you nothing about no millions. Do you have a video of you listing items from start to finish, washing, laying out pictures, listing? No, because I do all that at separate times. I have different videos of different parts of the process. What's your question about it, John? I have videos of me doing listings inside the computer after taking photos earlier in the day, but I've never done the listing from start to finish on a video because I don't list like that. I do all the photos at one time, and then I sit down and I do all the listings at one time. One of the benefits of reselling, I found some new size 11 EW Black Rocky boots that fit me sweet and perfect. $5. There you go. Yeah, you can't beat that. What's up, Mr. X? How you doing? More sellers need to tell eBay the site is worth the amount they are collecting from promoted listings. Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Probably 150 to 200 items a day. I would say something like that, Moochie. Because Tech was doing 150 a day, I believe, when he made his first $1 million. Now, I don't know if that was gross or net. I think it was gross. But he was doing about 150 a day. You know what I mean? When he was making $3 million doing 250 a day. And then you include whatnot and all that stuff, he did over 5 million. Hey Nikki, how are you? How was work? Hopefully it was good. Probably needs to sound. No, he's doing way more than I am. He's doing bigger. He's doing way more than I am. $150 to $210 profit margin. I see people doing $20 profit items. It's hard to find those items. That's the thing, man. Not everybody's doing that, bro. Everybody's saying they're doing that, but they ain't doing that. No offense to Tech and Chris, but they weren't even doing it. Chris might Chris might have been saying that he was, but Chris was saying all types of stuff and was selling prices all over the place. You know what I mean? Like he would list high-dollar items, but he was accepting $7 offers on items. You know what I mean? His method was just move items as fast as he could. Now, Tech, on the other hand, Tech will still take a $13 offer on an item. That's not $20 profit. You know what I mean? But at that time, he was getting thousands of items brought to him. He was no longer in charge of what was coming to his store. He was going out and having, people were going out sourcing and then bringing him stuff that he never would have even listed. You know what I'm saying? So not all of his stuff was $20 profit items either. Now that he's going back out and sourcing again, I don't know the metrics. But I know when I was a member of that Patreon, they weren't only selling items that were $20 profit. They were saying to get them, but they were not only selling $20 profit items. Because like you just said, it's hard to find 50,000 $20 profit items. It's not doable. Not by yourself, not as a one-man show. It's not going to happen. You can find a bunch of $10 profit items. You know, you can find a bunch of $8 profit items, but a whole store full of $20 profit items is almost impossible for any one person to do. More sellers need to express their displeasure about the site not living up to the amount they collected. Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything, but, you know, it might slow them down on doing the stupid stuff they're doing. I would be interested in seeing how your process differs from mine. I mean, I don't have like a specific video that I can go back and point you to, but I've put stuff in a lot of videos of how I do listings, how I take the photos, how I pack, you know, all the items up, everything. It takes start to finish for a whole listing. It's probably like a 5-minute process. That's with the photos, putting the item away, loading the photos into the computer, and then doing the listing and saving it as a draft. It's probably 5 minutes max. I'm trying every day to make my store better and add product. Every day is always a learning experience. I absorb a lot of information from experienced sellers like you. Thanks. That's the thing though, right? Even like I learned almost everything that I learned from Tech, and I don't do most of it, right? Just because at the end of the day, you can learn stuff, but you'll find something that works better for you, right? I don't do flat lay. I do vertical flat lay. I don't do racks. I do the box system like Chris from Daily Refinement. And at the end of the day, I'm not picking up all $25, $35 items. I'm picking up what I know that sells for me. I'm trying to find the best items that I can, but there's items that I looked up the sell-through on when I first picked them up. They were going for, you know, 20, 25 bucks, and they had 100% sell-through that are on sale right now in my store for $2. You know what I'm saying? Everything changes. Nothing stays the same year over year. So the items that I was selling for 25 bucks last year are going for 15 this year. The game changes. You got to do what works for you. Tech was running 250 ads a day just a few years ago. I think it was doing that up until this year. I don't know. You got some great process videos, just FYI for the person asking about what you do. It works when we're working for sure. Yeah, I know that I have them on there. I just don't remember which videos they are. So a 30,000 item store full of bins items, like 1 into 15 will do it. I mean, I can't say that because James has 50,000 items and he's not making $1 million a year. I would think you would still need the best items you can get. You know what I mean? Now, if you're selling 250 of those items a day, then it would be a different story. But James is only selling like 50 to 70 a day. So he's doing like 300K a year. So he's netting like 100K a year. So you're going to have to make sure that you're still picking up the best items that you can. But like $5, $6 items ain't going to cut it. So you're going to want items that are making you like $10 profit an item, with the exception of a few that are going under than that, but with the majority of them being over like $16, $17, $20 and up. You want them to be as high priced items as you can. You know, ideally you have quite a few items that go for over 100 in there. James is the great reseller life. He's got 57,000 items in the store or something like that right now. Try to sell what you keep selling if it works for you, right? That's what I'd say, man. If you sold it once, you know it can sell again. How diligent are you to avoid leaving out all those recommended fields blank? I routinely seem to have half a dozen. I fill out all the required. I fill out the recommended that are necessary. I don't go above and beyond to fill them all out because then that makes your listing process take so much longer. What's up, TJ? How you doing, bro? I fill out what's necessary. I complained to eBay 3 times about how auctions were promoted and they changed it. I'm sure I'm not the only one who claimed or chimed in, but sometimes it happens. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that eBay has changed due to users on the platform complaining about it. The listing quality report was one of them. They kept it around a little bit longer because people raised a fuss when they said they were going to take it away. I came late to the chat. No. Yeah, it's all good. Just sat down to eat dinner. What you having, man? I had salmon and Greek salad. I'm trying to do the Mediterranean diet, man. I got to get my cholesterol back in check, and I got to lose some fat. I've been eating too good, man. So I've been starting today was day 1 of the Mediterranean diet. I ate toast with avocado and tomato and a little bit of feta cheese for breakfast. I ate a salad for lunch and a salad and salmon for dinner. I'm going to have some Greek yogurt for dessert. I was eating ice cream every single day. I love ice cream. But obviously, it's a lot of cholesterol and snack cakes and ice cream, and I was getting busy, man. I was eating ice cream like crazy. You wouldn't even believe. So you gotta do what you gotta do because I want to live. I want to live for as many years as I possibly can, and health is wealth. So if anybody's got any last minute questions, we got 3 minutes left, so we can get them addressed. Love me some stuffed grape leaves. What are you stuffing in them? I've never had that. I started carnivore diet, made 1 pound of ground beef, tossed in 3 scrambled eggs, and chopped up 8 pieces of bacon and mixed it all up. That sounds good, man. I did try the carnivore diet, but I got burnt out on bacon and ground beef after like three or 4 weeks, man. But I also wasn't being strict with it either, so it didn't give me the results it was supposed to because I was eating stuff I shouldn't have been eating along with it. I had salmon yesterday, so far I didn't have time to cook today, so I had Pizza Hut a few moments ago. My brother brought it to me. My brother's like the kitchen manager at this place that he works at, and he's in charge of all types of, like, he acquires the food, and so they get, since it's like it's a rehab facility that's a Christ-centered rehab facility, so they get a ton of donations. So like every single day, they get donations from Schnucks, which is a local grocery store in the Midwest. I think just in Missouri, maybe. Maybe there's some in Illinois too. But they get donations from Schnucks, Aldi, and a couple of other places right here. So he's always eating fire food, and he just brings me some rice, ground lamb, and fresh mint. That sounds fire, dude. I'm going to have to try that with some brown rice, though. Cottage cheese and blueberries will help with inflammation in my joints. Yeah. I definitely have some inflammation. Now, I told you guys I was running on the treadmill earlier. My legs are, calf muscles are on fire. Last one, how do you do an inventory check? I take the box, or I'll either print out the list of all the active listings by SKU, and I'll just check the box by the listing number that's on the page. If it's not on the page, I'll circle it and I'll go delete it out of the active page. Or if I have an item that's not there, I'll write it down, I'll take it, and I'll go put it back in the inventory system and relist it. If it's worth relisting. If it's not worth relisting, I'll just get rid of it. What book of the Bible are you dwelling in this week? Psalms for me, in the 20s, it seems. I'm in Acts 20 right now, chapter 20. I just finished 2 Corinthians. Do you suggest immediate payment on eBay? I was doing immediate payment, then I turned it off, and now I've got all these items that are not being paid for. So I suggest doing it if you're not trying to get a whole bunch of combined orders. I tried to do the combined orders and it just didn't work. I eat the Mediterranean diet, but I had a coupon for a free Whataburger. I'll get back on it tomorrow. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it if you do it occasionally. What's up, young star girl? Lots of grains, avocado, salmon, healthy beef, and chicken nut seeds and vitamins and minerals. Yeah. I'm trying it out. I'll see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know in a few weeks. So yeah, guys, we're at the end of the time. I got 8 listings to do on eBay, and I got some YouTube work to do for my other channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here. That's gonna do it for this one. Catch you guys on the next.